The City of Angels is black and gold. You are listening to the Heart of LAFC podcast. And now, Joseph Zacher.
Good evening, Los Angeles. Greetings to all of you. This is episode 171. We'll call this one Heart of LAFC Live and Direct. That's right, guys. We're in the game. It's live now. Let me introduce our amazing team today. We've got Christine Kwan, Cesar Gonzalez, and of course, Jason LAFC Punk Ariano. Let me just start off and say happy birthday, Christine.
Christine will be right back. She is having some technical difficulties.
Thanks. We'll have to catch her in a few seconds here. That's okay. In the meantime, we'll just talk about what's going on. Obviously, we're live and direct. This is real. A long time coming. Last time you saw us, it was Jerry and I, and it was his farewell episode. And honestly, didn't know what was going to come of it. But here we are. Thanks to a little help from Jerry, a little bit of love from Jerry, we've worked it out, gone to a little bit of a TED talk with the man, and we are doing what we're doing now. We're getting back to you guys, which was always the goal. We wanted to make sure that we had a show that you guys will all love to hear, that you were involved with. You're going to see a lot of bells and whistles as we go, that you could listen to and get a little bit of information from us. Do we say we're always insider information? Nah, we're more of the analysis guys. Kind of a this week in football kind of talk. And that's not going to change. Same crew, same folks. I know Jerry is going to probably visit us from time to time because we always love our brother, the podcast. I like to call him Master Splinter in most cases, but yeah, that's where we're at. So here we are, back into the football, back into the game. Caesar, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing well. This is my first live show. First time ever. So this is actually pretty fun. Looking forward to everyone's comments, and yeah, we'll feature you guys on here. And little shout out to everyone who's right now commenting. We'll make sure to feature your guys' comments on here. And yeah, hoping to give you guys a good show today.
There it is. Mr. Punk, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing better. Recovering from another urgent care visit. I can't pronounce what I have. But hoping it's nothing too serious. I might need surgery, so kind of taking it easy, eating lightly, just drinking water. So I won't be drinking you guys tonight. I'll be drinking H2O tonight. So stomach is healing.
You aren't the only dry one in the room. I'm playing it pretty safe tonight as well. I figure there's so many bells and whistles that we're dealing with tonight. I might as well keep it directed, you know. That being said, there's the key term. I see Christine. Welcome back, Christine. How are you doing?
I am so sorry about the technical difficulty. I am operating with like 5 brain cells right now. So I might not be drinking too much either. Although I have 1 beer as a backup.
There it is. And of course, you didn't hear us before, but happy birthday to you tonight. Tonight is your
birthday.
We get Christine on her birthday, guys. Happy
birthday, Christine.
And lunar birthday was last night, correct?
Exactly. And that's why.
Oh, no. So it's all right. We can keep going. If Christine gets back on, we'll have her on. But game on. This is where we're at right now, live and direct. So when she gets back on, we'll definitely have her jump in. Cool thing is, guys, the way the program works, the way we have it set up, we can actually add you guys in too at times, do interviews, all that thing. So if I hear you guys enough comments over there, like, you know, Mr. Roberto Espinoza, I see you down there, man. You might have a camera ready. I might throw you on here. Just see how it runs. It's going to be fun. This is a new adventure for all of us. So since we are here, and this is the Heart of LAFC podcast, we should probably talk a little bit of football. So, Caesar, I'm going to let you kick it off. What's going on for preseason news?
Preseason, March 8th is the first day that the boys can pretty much train together. But yet that day, they'll be incorporated little by little throughout that week. They can start reporting on March 1st, which will include obviously like COVID testing, physicals and whatnot, just to make sure, you know, they're right. Their bodies are good. They're in shape. And if they have any injuries, you know, they'll take care of them starting then. They can't meet up with the players or have any, you know, type of training sessions before March 1st. But yeah, March 8th will be the day that our boys will more than likely be all together. And that's including anyone out of the country. They'll more than likely need to be back within the next 2 weeks, you know, to abide by the COVID protocols currently in the state of California. We know that it's very different throughout the world. So yeah, wherever they're at, they'll need to, you know, abide by the California laws. And they'll have 6 weeks to prepare until the regular season. We know that the season got pushed back to April 17th now. It's a 2-week delay from the original start date that they had previously given us. But what's another 2 weeks? To be honest, we've already waited, you know, for so long. It's bullcrap, but we'll get our football and our team back soon.
It'll happen. It'll happen. The big change that you'll notice, the most noticeable thing is we won't get any of those international preseason games. So no Peñarol, no Kobe, right? We're going to lose out on that one this season. Hey, who knows? Maybe later on in the year, maybe they'll set up a match or something. But in the meantime, if there's a camp, if there's teams doing preseason, yeah, it'll be the other MLS teams or even other local pro teams, maybe. Even college teams. I mean, it's very common for MLS teams to scrimmage against college sides just to get minutes in. That could happen again here. Obviously, they have to take it serious, take it simple like they have before to get the games going. Because the last thing you need is a positive test to throw your whole season out of whack. And the league's season out of whack, because you lose teams, it loses legitimacy. Let's be honest. We all saw the standings last year. It was a joke. Ben Verhen has an article talking about a lot of things. We'll cover a little bit more about it later on, but a part of it was the preseason setup. So take a look at that. It's on our website, heartoflafc.com. It's also on Twitter right now, so check that out. It's got a little bit of details. Larry! Look at that, Christine. Too awesome.
Thank you, Larry.
Thank you, Larry, for coming on.
Hey, Larry.
Love you, brother. So happy to see everybody jump on. It's cool because it's like a reunion right now. We haven't done this in a long time. We're seeing everybody popping on. Brendan's on here from Australia. I see Chila on here. Oh man, Sin Filtro in the house.
Shout out to my boy Chila from LAF Sin Filtro for making it to the show tonight.
The one who just said Pinchy Christine?
Yeah.
Yeah, so when we play against him, I'm just saying, if we get some football matches in, that's the guy that uses her tackle, okay? It's just sorry, Chila, she's gonna kill you. That's how it goes, right? Football. He knows better. Love you, brother. So we know how it is. Of course, there is a birthday. Christine's not the only one celebrating. Christine, who's also celebrating today?
It's a fellow Aquarian. It's Jesus David Murillo. So it's his birthday today. I forget how old is he. Do you guys know 27, I want to say?
I won't say because I don't say ages ever. Except Jordan Harvey's, because I love to pick on Jordan Harvey. But
a lot older than me. So I mean, I'm a lot older than him. That's what I meant to say. So
same here, right?
Yeah. Speaking of birthdays, I was hoping this season was going to start on April 9th. That's my birthday. So I was like what I was hoping for, but no April 9th season start. The Dodgers home opener is April 9th, but
it's a good thing we avoided that, huh? Wise move, MLS. Wise move. Yeah, really, to be honest, Jesus Murillo to me is the most important signing, obviously, of this season. Getting him back changes everything for us. We'll talk about that more too later on in the show, but yeah, to have him back in the fray, to me, that was the story. By getting him secured, then you can build out from our back, which we haven't really been able to do. It's been unstable even since season 1. This is the first time where I really do feel that we have a center back situation that's without question stable. So good things. Moving forward with other news, of course, there was a bit of an anniversary today. If you notice social media, you couldn't help but notice everybody talking about one night in Leon. And yeah, exactly 1 year ago, to the day we battled against Leon. The result wasn't what we wanted, but while we didn't win the match in the stands, we didn't win it on the field. We definitely won it in the stands. We won it in the city, and we broke the duck. We finally had an international away day, and we did it in style. And for all of us that went, you will never forget it. It was something that was magical. It was a religious experience as a supporter to get to go to an international destination, represent your side over there, be a bit of an ambassador in the lead up to the match, and then take things over when it came time. Even though we were outnumbered, outgunned, we still held our own to the point where when the match was over, Caesar's going to explain some of those stories. We got a standing ovation from their crowd. We also had a lot of exchanges of cool items. I think Caesar was involved. Weren't you? Didn't you get involved in a little bit of an exchange?
Yeah, so funny story. I was going to actually trade this one, the one I'm wearing. And the cool story behind this one is I was at the jersey launch for this jersey last year. And Robbie, who was giving out those like free, you remember those, like he had like a stack of like scratchers, and I was like, I want one from the middle, so I grabbed it, and then so I ended up scratching it, and I won a free jersey customization. So I ended up getting like the supporter shield patch on there, and then my name and jersey number. So took it to Leon, and like I was just so excited after the match that I was like, some guy was like, hey, you want to trade jerseys? I was like, yeah, sure, let's do it. So I'm taking off my jersey, and then my girlfriend comes and she's like, what are you doing? Like, don't give them the original jersey. Look at their jerseys. They're not even like, like our quality. And so she proceeds to take off her shirt, which was a replica the previous year. So yeah, there's my girlfriend Molly in the Leon stands taking her shirt off. She gives me that one, and I give mine to her, and then I gave him the a girl jersey, and then I ended up getting a Leon jersey. So little did he know, he ended up with a women's jersey, but I ended up with a pretty sweet Leon jersey from, I think it was a 2016 jersey. So it's pretty sweet.
Oh, nice. It had to be the like construction weird sponsor on the front, right?
Yeah, kind of, but I think it has like 20 or 30 different sponsors on there. I'm exaggerating, but yeah, it has a lot of sponsors on there.
Yeah, they're pretty crazy in Mexico with the sponsors. Seeing our situation now, you're like, yeah, I'm betting that most of their fans and supporters are kind of wishing they were in the situation we were in right now. I know financially we're like, no, that's not the greatest thing in the world, but aesthetic wise, yeah, the club needs to feature more than anything else, right? You can agree on that. So it's cool, but yeah, it gets to a point.
Yeah, Leon does have more sponsors than any other team, it seems like. They seem to have more than the other clubs. I mean, it's on their shorts, too, and their socks. It's everywhere.
It's pretty extreme. I think maybe it's because of their stadium situation where they really don't own their house, so they have to find other ways to generate money. But they still find a way, and they're still super competitive, so good on them for being who they are. Now, back to the trip. I know Caesar and I and my family and Molly, hero Molly for saving her jersey, we actually got to go through Guanajuato for a while, toured all that crazy stuff. I know, Caesar, you were with me for a lot of that. And really, again, we can't wait to do this again. I think you and I will definitely be on another road trip. We got to get Christine and Jason on board for one of these as well. I will say that DJ Fresco was also on that trip. Yeah, and if you check out the LAFC site right now, you're gonna know a little more about Fresco. Love you, brother. Can't wait to have you come back on. But also Ben was there. Ben Virgen, our writer, he was there too. So it was kind of a homecoming for everybody. We all got a chance to meet up. We all got a chance to do this, and now we're here with that experience. And so one day we'll be back in the international matches. One day we'll be back in the CCL doing what we do best. And who knows, maybe we might get a little lucky and get through a team like Tigres and have to play Bayern Munich in some far off land where I can guarantee a few of us crazies will fly halfway around the world to be there.
Oh
So-
yeah, for sure.
Right. That
Yeah.
chance, you're not passing it up. AFC fans, you'd see us go halfway around the world for that match. And we'd probably be the biggest group to have fans there and supporters there of anybody. That's kind of where we're going with this. And it's just going to get bigger every year. We're here. We arrived. That night in Leon proved it. We arrived. So thank you, LAFC, for being a competitive side that pushes yourselves to get into these situations, because you give us crazy supporters a chance to have these experiences.
Yeah, it was cool to talk to like their. So we were fenced up, if you guys didn't know, but we were like in a cage, literally. So we were surrounded by like a lot of police officers, like just a shit ton of them. And I remember speaking to some of them because I was like on the edge, and they're like, dude, like, he's like, no MLS team has like done this in Mexico. He's like, you guys are literally like, you guys are the talking point right now, and you guys will be for like the next couple of days. And sure enough, it was ESPN, TUDN, Fox Deportes, every Spanish channel that you can think of was like showing the 3252, and you know, every other LAFC fan who made that trip. So it was a for sure
Were you guys
the best away day that I ever had.
Yeah, Christine?
Were you guys at all intimidated going into that scene, or were you there like
Nah,
watching, knowing that
some people were scared for sure. I got that sense, and I got that vibe from some people. And then I heard some people were like saying like, oh, make sure you guys don't do anything dumb. Of course, there's always going to be people doing dumb stuff, but I don't think we did anything to put ourselves in danger, I would say.
Yeah, I think it's situational awareness. You're on an away day, and we were really careful to instruct everybody that we could that you don't create an incident before kickoff, because you might not make it to kickoff, you know. And if you're respectful, they're respectful. And my experience the whole time was respectful, and I wore colors. I wasn't afraid to do so, because in the lead up, in most away days, unless it's a rivalry, most fans, when they see visitors, it's going to be a positive experience because it's somebody new in town, especially if you are respectful. Now, if something goes twisted, somebody's vandalizing stuff, there were some incidents with stickers that got thrown out, and that came back to us. You know, we heard it from their leaders and their supporter groups, which is a monster. It takes up way more space than ours does. They're massive. But again, it was one of those things where there's your warning, be cool. And it was. Now, were they careful with us? Yeah, we did a long march of maybe 1.5 miles. I think it was probably longer than that. I think we walked for possibly a half hour as a group, singing the whole way, like running out of gas before we even got in, because they were running us in circles. It was the weirdest thing ever. But let's see.
No, I'm just gonna this is a story that you guys have you have given me FOMO from the story. You guys always talk about the story with like such love for that trip, and I'm just like, man,
it's hard to describe it, because even though we lost, it was just like out of the ordinary for sure. It's something I hope that we can experience in that magnitude and even bigger. I know that, just like you're saying, FOMO, I know a lot of people feel the same way. So hopefully you guys take that and, go with the rest of us next time, because I'm sure we can make this a bigger and better thing for sure.
No, I would have been down there for sure. It was the day before my court date for divorce. So that's kind of important to be at. So I kind of had to be at that. So, but watching it on TV, as someone who was watching on TV live, it gave me goosebumps when I could hear you guys. I was like, oh my gosh. And I mean, I knew a lot of people, you guys down there, of course, my supporter group, Empire Boys, I knew a lot of them were down there. And I mean, you guys can even talk about all the stuff every supporter group did for the community as well. I know that was mentioned with
that was huge
on our Slack page today. Edgar he said this is what this trip is all about, and they showed him an orphanage. Yep. And one thing, I saw a quote down there, comment, Brendan from Australia. He says we have to do an Australian tour. Hey, I'm down. We just need a place to stay, so I guess that we're all crashing at Brendan's place. So
yeah, Brendan, you could be our fixer, man. So we need your help to arrange a match with Melbourne and maybe Western Sydney Wanderers. And that would be a great 2-match tour, I think. maybe a couple more matches. But I'm in. Who's in for that? Who's going to go to Australia? You guys in?
Yep, I would love to go back for sure. I didn't have the chance to meet up with Bam because I was in Sydney and he's on the other side of Australia. But I loved Australia and I plan to go back. So hopefully we can make it happen.
I have to go back. I got a Melbourne kit thanks to Bam himself, dude. Which LAFC, you got to check out this away kit. It actually has the city map on the kit. Like it's the sublimation is actually the map of the city all the way around. It's the craziest thing ever. Coolest away kit I've seen yet, to be honest. And yeah, it's a cool idea, something to think about. On the Leon, also, I gotta say, it also led up to something else that was going to be even bigger. As we know, we were supposed to play Cruz Azul, and this darn virus, this horrible virus, stole it from us. But I could tell you that the next leg against Cruz Azul would have been a monstrosity for us, and it would have been even bigger than what we did in Leon, and this time in Azteca. And I think after doing what we did in Leon, everybody knew that was going to be the big monster. Now I can guarantee you, since those who missed out on Leon are now missing out on over a year for away day, when we get one of these ones, even a domestic away day, it's going to be like a San Jose situation. We're going to take everything over. I expect it. Even if we don't get enough tickets allotted, they're going to find their way into that building.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So you just wait until things get back to semi-normal to see what the 3252 and the rest of our family is going to do. Be a beautiful thing. Anybody else have anything you want to add about Leon?
Wish I was there again.
That's the big thing. Yeah, well, no, we'll get that chance again. That's for sure. Again, shout out to everybody who made that. You did it. You were the ones that made history, and we just keep looking forward to more of it. Moving to the next thing, our writer Ben Verhen, love you, man, wrote a great article. Like I said earlier, here's the thing: the article covers a lot more. It's pretty much our preseason lineup, the preseason setup. Talks about the schedule, what Caesar mentioned before, but it also talks about what to expect from LAFC if it stands pat as for now. What are the debates? Where are we going? First thing he talked about, of course, was the battle for the goalkeepers. Christine, you know enough about our starters. Now we have a third man into the game, Tomas Romero. Young kid, but he's actually got pro minutes in playing for the Phillies setup. So he was the youngest goalkeeper to ever start in USL. Youngest player to ever get a team of the week nod. But it was Bethlehem Steel who he was playing for. I don't know why I got blanked on that. It's a great name for a team. But basically, we now have a third goalkeeper that is capable, that has played minutes, that has won a national championship. So Ben was like, well, we know it's a battle for two, but could it be three? So I wanted to throw it to you, Christine. If you were looking, who do you think our leader is right now? Who gets to start going into preseason?
If I had to guess, I think we're looking at Pablo. So he, I think, has been really solid in a lot of spots throughout the season. And, to me, he's just the right choice. He's put in his time. He's developed. We've seen him actually improve on certain things that he needs to work on in terms of his timing, in terms of how he moves out of the box, his footwork, and most of all, I think just his confidence in a way, like his mentality, his belief that he's able to. Did I lose you guys?
No, you're here.
Okay. You looked all frozen for a second. I was like, my internet. Oh my god. So just his ability to feel like he can be the anchor of the team. And I think also now that we have Murillo in the back, that's going to help him feel a lot more confident as well, knowing that he has somebody, that back line really to fortify his efforts. That's my money. I think the 20-year-old kid, obviously exciting. We don't know enough about him. And like you guys have mentioned in previous episodes, being a keeper is one of those positions where you really do have to kind of wait your turn, put in your dues. And I think that it'll be a good time for him to learn. For me, Vermeer is a big question mark. And I also wonder, if he is really motivated to grab that starting position. I don't know the answer to that question, but for me, I feel like watching Pablo, I feel like he wants that starting position and he wants to keep it. So, yeah. What do you guys think?
Good point. Caesar, where's your position on this one?
I would say I would like to see Pablo in there, just because of the inconsistencies we saw with Vermeer through the beginning of the season, mid-season, and the only thing I would say is we kind of have to look at it also like Vermeer did finish the season with on the CCL as a starting keeper. It's interesting that Bob played it out that way, just because it seemed like he got the nod over Pablo in the CCL run. Even in the Leon games, he got the two starts, and then when the season came by, it was Pablito starting. So it could get interesting to see where Bob is going to take this, but just because of the way the season ended, I would go with Kenneth Vermeer as our starter to begin the year.
So it is a battle. Now, I can't help but to feel that our results in the CCL weren't because of Vermeer. It might have been in spite of his performances. Sounds harsh, but there was a lot of circus stuff going on back there where people are out of position, people are scrambling, touches don't look quite confident, positions don't look right, at least where he's at. I think we managed with him back there. It wasn't that he was thriving. It was more of our defense keeping him into
and
it.
I think there was an injury situation as well with Pablo that wasn't widely maybe talked about. But I think there was some kind of nagging injury that may have been a factor in why he didn't finish out the season.
It could have been the case.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Maybe he wasn't quite where he was at, where he needed to be. But this is his chance. I can't help but also feel like you guys that Lina, you're saying Caesar, he's going to give Vermeer the start. I honestly think Bob's in a position where he isn't decided yet. He's going to let him earn it in preseason, and whoever wins. And if they both tank somehow, then the kid's the pressure to get a few minutes in. I don't think we're sitting that kid like we did with Ejimaru. I don't think that's going to be the case with him. He's going to get minutes. That'd be really
it'll be interesting to see where they get the minutes, though, just because of how this season is looking to play out. And reminder, we're not playing in the CCL, so that's one less tournament. That's less games already. Not to make this sound bad or anything, but I highly doubt we're going to go a full season without an injury or two. So it could be a goalkeeper, it could be anyone else. We need that third goalkeeper regardless. So whoever gets the minutes, I at this point, to me, if you were to give me a coin, I'd be like, heads is Pablo, tails is Vermeer. Boom, toss it wherever it lands. That's my starter for tomorrow.
And then if it accidentally gets stuck in the middle of a crack and points straight up, that's the 20-year-old kid.
Right. Yeah. You get the halfway point.
Yeah.
Hey, this thought just popped in my head. Maybe getting the kid is kind of put a fire underneath the butt for Pablo and Vermeer to kind of get their game in gear. I mean, I'm torn too. I mean, we saw Vermeer kind of helped us out in CCL, but Pablo is. I mean, to me, he's kind of like our future goalie. Even with the 20-year-old, but I think maybe the kid just kind of is going to help them to put their ass in gear to do a better job.
Because we didn't see minutes at all from our previous third string keeper, right? Or am I missing a game? Maybe it was a preseason game. Yeah.
No, he played mostly in USL.
The last time I saw our third stringer get any minutes was Charlie Lyon against Dortmund, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Right? Was that way back when? The third stringers don't get anything. It's kind of tough.
Yeah, it's very rare.
So the other thought was, if we somehow get into the Open Cup, which Caesar's suggesting that might not be the case, I could see the Open Cup having an effect on the third stringer. And then, of course, the bigger picture, if this works out, if somehow Vegas is really in the works, obviously Romero's going to go there. I think that would be the dead honest situation, and then somebody else would be the third that we would bring up, but at least he get minutes in the USL.
What's up, Jerry? Welcome.
Jerry is
Hi,
in the
Jerry.
house. Ox is in the house.
Yeah.
Welcome, guys. Welcome back. It's again, it's like school's back in session. We're seeing everybody in the halls.
Okay, can somebody explain to me who Ox is? Because you guys keep referring to him like this
He's-
legend, and I need to know.
Mr. Ox lives in Kansas, and he likes to come on these late night shows and pretty much watch the sunrise as we all talk about football.
What's up,
he-
Ox?
He's old school Black Army from way back in the day before we actually had a decent team.
Mhm.
Yeah, and Cross Hammers, he has a big part in that.
Where does the name Ox come from?
Ox, tell him right now. We will put it on the screen.
Yep,
Go
as soon
for
as
it,
you
brother.
put it.
Hey,
Tell
and,
him why
It's
you
like
call
a history
yourself Ox.
lesson for me.
and seeing Jerry on, I just listened to your interview on FCFC today in my driving around. So nice.
Ooh, I will not debate that from Brendan. Sorry, Ox, but your dad is an LAFC legend,
Oh wow,
and one of the best sources for a hug when we score a goal. I'm just gonna say that. There you go.
that's so cool. Papa
Yeah, you guys
Ox?
are both legends.
There's
No
a
doubt
Papa
about
Ox and a baby ox. That's amazing.
it. There is
Yeah.
a Papa Ox and a baby Ox. Yes,
Papa Ox actually stands in the north end with Joseph, like right next to him.
he's on my
Dang.
left. Black Panther's on my right.
That's so
Mhm.
cool.
Yeah, and then next to them it's Molly and Caesar.
Yep.
So
Nice.
there's my row. Like every week, that's my crew. Like, boom, there you go. There it is.
Okay.
That's a story.
That doesn't explain the ox, but okay.
Yeah. We'll take that.
I'll have to
The
dive into
nickname.
that later.
Dang. Jerry was promised it. You're a day late, sir. You're a day late.
Jerry, if I could just show you in like a giant bottle how much alcohol I consumed in the last 24 hours, you would, like, I don't know, call the ER or something. But I'm alive. I'm alive and well. And I still have one beer I'm working on.
All I know is Christine's going to be a tailgate legend next year. Which is,
Oh, man.
right. Has to be.
I
be.
miss tailgates more
Mhm.
so much. Oh man.
A few of our favorite things, right, guys?
Yeah.
No doubt. So, to the football. Love it. The goalkeeping situation, like I said, it's going to be unsettled. I think it's going to be a tandem. Caesar might be right. They might stick with the money. The money is the money, right? That's who you're paying to be the starter. But at least we know it can be a competition, and Vermeer knows it's a competition now. So let's see where that plays itself out. Of course, the article continues, and it talks about the new arrivals at the club, because we do have some good new arrivals coming in. That would include Corey Baird, Raheem Edwards, Marco Farfan, Kim Moon Hwan, and, of course, Thomas Romero. We talked enough about Romero. We know what he's going to bring. Great signing for us. Good move. Corey Baird is another strong signing with Brian taking off, who got, I guess, garbage minutes or show-up minutes this week. Baird steps in, and he's going to be battling with Moose, probably to be the striker in the middle, target man all the way, but he's mobile, so you can see him playing on the left as well. So he's got the mobility there, and he's got what I like to call a little bit of Gata in its play, right? He's got some guts, and he's the type of player that's going to go in and not get too fancy with it. He's going to get the job done. So it's kind of a good add-on. So we got Baird. We have Raheem Edwards, who was drafted by us at one point and then sent packing like the same day. Now is in the mix. He's been, I believe he was a Toronto Academy product, kind of bounced around. We'll see what he brings. I think he's more of an insurance in our midfield. Again, a player that's probably mobile and versatile, which is what Bob likes, that he could play multiple positions. We'll see what he brings to the table for us. Again, in our system, I would see him playing more in a Cifuentes type of role. Just another version, but not quite as skillful, I think, as Cifuentes. We'll see. We'll see what he develops. It's kind of a little bit of a mystery for us on his end. Definitely he's coming here looking for a bit of a pick-me-up in the career side of things. Then you have Marco Farfan, who basically was kind of the odd man out in Portland, plays both outside back positions. I believe more stronger on the left side, but can play on the right side. So he's going to be battling with Chicky mostly, but could also be a bit of an insurance policy for our other newcomer, which is, of course, Kim Moon Hwan. If you don't know who he is, I don't think I have to say enough, but we now have a versatile right back that can hit it from outside, can set people up. He can also sell a lot of jerseys, which it's on my list. Yeah, good pickup for us, an international player. Again, this is who's coming into the mix. Now, I'm going to throw this to Caesar first. Caesar, if you're looking at this list of new names, who do you think right away is going to make an impact?
Right away, I would say Corey Baird and Raheem Edwards. We're talking about two guys that have, some decent playing time. Well, Corey Baird specifically has a lot of playing time in MLS, and Raheem Edwards as well has some decent experience with Toronto, with us for like a day or two until we traded him away. But obviously he didn't play. But it's his second time go around with us, and I think this time he's here to stay, obviously. And I do expect him to get a couple minutes, game in, game out. Corey Baird, he will definitely get his shot for sure. Right now, I don't know if Corey is going to start over Moose. I'm sorry, Chila, but it's going to be one of those things where Bob is going to look at training and who's coming in hot, who's giving me more during training. I do like Corey a little more. I've been, keeping up with him a little more, watching, like I keep mentioning, the RSL versus LAFC match in Salt Lake keeps being played on the LAFC channel. So sometimes when I'm bored at work, I just leave it on and I actually pay attention to him because he's part of our team now, and he's a smart guy, knows how to run well, cover spaces, shift from left to right. He understands the game well, and I think that's something that we need up at the 9 or 11 striker position or wherever he's going to play. But I just think that his knowledge of the game will translate well with us, and it'll help the team a little bit more than I'm going to say it more than B-Rod, even though B-Rod helped us in other forms that I think was helpful to the team. But Corey Baird is just going to bring something different that is going to help us much more. And I'm talking about experience. MLS experience goes a long freaking way.
Agreed. Like Roberto says, he was a diamond for Arsenal, and it is true with Baird. He really was. His season numbers were down a little bit, but it wasn't because of him. It was playing with. I think we're pulling him out of a situation that wasn't really fruitful for him.
Yeah,
because of the system that they played.
Imagine with Vela and Rossi, this guy's gonna shine.
Oof. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to what he brings into the mix. Christine, who do you think is going to be the big show or big impact from the new signings?
I think I'll reiterate what Sheila was saying about Corey over Moose, because I think that Corey has a certain focus about him, and he has a certain understanding of how to get involved in the game. And I think sometimes with that position, it can be, depending on how the game is going, Moose can be not involved for long stretches of the game. And I think Corey has a different kind of skill set and playing style where he will be able to have an impact no matter what kind of tempo or style the game is at. So I feel like that is, what connects with the MLS experience part of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I would rate him over Moose if we're comparing those two.
100.
Yeah, and then of course I think Kim is going to have a huge impact. I feel like we've hyped him up so much at this point that if he doesn't play awesome, maybe we're going to be a little disappointed. But
I will say that I'm very happy that. I mean, obviously we couldn't sign him as a third DP, but I'm glad that we're gonna get rid of the third DP some way or somehow. Whether it's within the next couple months or at the end of the year, we're gonna get rid of it. And I best believe our club has learned their lesson. Or at least I really hope so. So the fact that we're getting someone like Kim. You know, we're talking about. I haven't seen the numbers, but I'm gonna say this transfer had to be over the $1 million easily, and you're not gonna bring someone and throw him in the bench. So I really do hope that
he's gonna have
his
to
game,
deliver.
yeah, he has to deliver right away.
Yep.
I think he's
Right.
he's gonna have a lot of pressure, which sucks, but it is what it is. You know, he's a pro. It's what he does for a living, so he better give us his all and not just sell jerseys.
I would
Thanks,
say,
Caesars.
dude, I'm on board. I'm on board. I agree. I mean, seeing the team he was on, right? We saw Baird kind of get limited by the club he was with. Kim was dealing with a relegated side from the right back position, getting the most touches, most dynamic plays, being the most impactful player from a position that typically is not that role. Coming here, knowing that he has tools around him that are versatile, that means he's going to get opened up a lot and will not have as much coverage on him. So what do you think is going to come from his play? Now he's got a little more space because of the way we play. It's going to be a beautiful thing with him. I agree. My question is where do our veterans fit in the back that were established, like Tristan? Where does he even fit in that situation? And does he threaten for right back? Is he even something realistic? Right? Hard question to ask. Honestly, I don't think so. I think he's more towards the center, but you could see the minutes, you could see the battle there. That's for sure. Jason, when you look at this list, who stands out to you most? Who do you want to see be the big impact player from these new signings?
Man, I'm gonna sound like a rerun, but I'm excited for Corey. You go back to 2019, he was Rookie of the Year. I think he's gonna have a better year than that because the ownership. I mean, the ownership of RSL was just crap. I mean, you had a racist owner. No one knew what was going on. He's gonna come to. I mean, it's the best ownership in MLS. I mean, it's. We have the best owners in the league. It's going to be a much better environment for him. I think he's going to come focused. He's going to be playing. We're going to have Corey, Vela, and Rossi on our front three. I mean, I'm excited for that. I mean, and then have Moose come off the bench. I think Chila, I saw him mentioned 60th, 70th minute, having him come off the bench. I mean, I'm excited for this coming season. I mean, I think Corey's really I think it's gonna be a breakthrough season for him. It's gonna be, like I said, especially with the ownership. I think ownership has a lot to do with performance. So.
I will say too that there's something about being home. So reminder to everyone, Corey is from the Southern California area. So being so close to home, it changes your mindset. It changes your morale. It changes everything, literally everything. Like being close to your family, being close to your friends. And now imagine playing for a club like LAFC. Yeah, we're 3 years old, but as Chila one day, we were talking and he said, LAFC would happen to be born big. We weren't made big, like we were born big. So it's time to fulfill those shoes. And I think, like I just mentioned, Corey being back home, it'll help him a lot. Mindset, physically, everything you can think of. It's a game changer to bring someone back home.
Agreed. I think this fits what Rich was telling us from the early days before we had a single player. LAFC is a challenger club. That was the philosophy going into this. It would be a challenger club. And you're like, what does that mean? Well, you're going to challenge the status quo. You're going to challenge the seat of power. You're the one that's going to push things. That's what a challenger does until you do become champion. And then you keep challenging for the next thing and the next thing after that. The signings that we're showing so that we are fully intending to be a challenger this year, making the proper signings, building where we need to build. Of course, now a third DP becomes available. You can only bet it's going to be something huge. So, yes, the newcomers are here, but can we all agree one more newcomer is definitely on the way and it's going to be something big?
Oh, yeah. Has to be.
All right, wish listed. Who is it? Caesar, wish list.
I mentioned them before. It's going to be Kun Agüero. We need a striker that's just going to freaking finish it. Just like have no feelings in front of the goal. Like, just like, I don't care what goalie's in front of me. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to put it past behind you. So he's one of them. If it's not going to be him, it'll be Diego Costa. But we definitely need a striker, like a finisher, a legit finisher is what we need.
Yep, agreed. That's where I'm at. Christine, where are you at on this? Who, if you had a dream signing that you see
I mean,
that's
yes,
available?
those options sound pretty good to me, man. If that can happen, let's do it. Honestly, I have no idea. I'm sure that they're tracking a bunch of players that
Yeah,
are really skilled that are just totally not on our radar. And like LAFC is really good at doing, they're able to pick out these players who are in kind of like Kim's position, for example, a particular spot where the player is good, but the situation is not fitting them, so that we can bring him into our system. So, but if we can get those dream players, I think that'll be awesome.
See, the only reason why I mentioned that is because they're on a free transfer. But if the club is willing to spend money, I mean, I got some up my sleeve as well that I'd take any day. But if I knew that our club wanted to spend money, I have a wish list for sure. But
I mean, that would be crazy.
I'm running on we're still going through a pandemic. Everyone's supposedly having financial issues, right? Quote unquote, supposedly. So why not go get someone on a free transfer? You know?
I agree. Make it happen. It would be a beautiful thing. Jason, do you have any crazy names you want to throw into the pot as potentials?
I mean, I'd like to see maybe a midfielder, just because. I have a feeling we're going to lose Atuesta eventually because he's so good. It's part of being an MLS fan.
I feel like he's about to go out, right?
Yeah.
Or is he not good enough for us right now?
I want my big show target. I want a target striker. I really want a target striker. Right? I mean, if you're LAFC and you're gonna spend some dough, are you gonna spend it on a midfielder, or are you gonna go for the showpiece up front?
Yeah, you're right.
I want a midfielder. I'm with you, Jason.
Yeah, good number 10.
Midfield.
We need a setup man.
I'm right behind you guys on that one too. If it's not a striker, it's definitely a midfielder. I think we legit have two starting center mids because we play with the three. I think we're missing the third, which is like the key missing piece for the mid. I'm so happy with Atuesta, so happy with Sifu, but it's just that extra, I don't know. I don't get it from Kay. I don't get it from Blessing. I don't get it from Ginella. I love Panchito, but he just there's still that little oomph that's missing, and
the chemistry's not quite there.
There's no consistency from everyone else. It's like you don't know which version you're going to get of each player each night. So Atuesta and it's pretty much guaranteed, but I mean, it seems like there's no consistency from some of the other midfielders.
I've been very happy with Sifu.
I'll go see. Yeah, Sifu too. He's been consistent. Yeah.
Only thing I will say about Sifu is I mentioned it in the Sin Filtro pod was that if he focuses on his physical shape this offseason, he's gonna be probably our most improved player next year, just because once that 60th, 70th minute hits, it's over for him. My boy is walking. He is huffing and puffing, and Bob is getting him out the game. So hopefully he focuses on that. Maybe less cheeseburgers or something. But yeah, I want to see him the full 90. He's one of those players where with Atuesta, full 90 from both, and that's it.
How do you know he eats cheeseburgers?
I don't know. I'm just saying 60, 70 minutes at that age, you gotta give us more than that.
Okay. You're right.
There it is. So looking at now, we look at the signings and they're good to go. Existing players. One thing that Ben did mention is that our key components are in place. Caesar, you want to jump on this. What's your take on our key components? Who do you say is pretty much like, yeah, they got it locked in? And who do you think that's not locked in?
Locked in, we're gonna go with our two guys that I think no one's gonna question up at the front, Vela and Rossi, and then our center backs. I think they're like untouchable, unmovable. Murillo, obviously we signed him, so we saw what he did for us last year. And Segura. Other than that, I mean, and obviously at Tuesta, I could start filling in gaps, but I'm talking the 4 positions that there's like absolutely no questions is going to be Rossi, Vela, Murillo, and Segura. I'll throw Tuesta in there just because, and that's a given. But I'd say my top 4 would be the 2 center backs and then our 2 guys up front. The ones in question, in my opinion, would be Mark Anthony Kaye, Latif Blessing, Janela, pretty much everyone else in the mid. The only 2 that I can fully trust starting the season is Tuesta and Sifu. Other than that, I still have my doubts for that 3rd center mid.
What about Palacios?
Chiqui Palacios, yeah, left back. I don't think,
For sure?
yeah, for sure. I mean, he got the nod over right at the beginning of the season. The only thing I would say that would hold him back is injuries or something like that. But yeah, he's another player that I wouldn't question, not starting. The right back position is obviously a little bit questionable right now just because of the new signing.
Yeah.
So I don't know what Bob has in mind. I know what I would love to see. But again, I think that 3rd center mid players, I don't know. It's where my questions are, where I doubt. But yeah, Sifu and Atuesta, I would throw them in there any given day.
Agreed. I think Farfan could kind of unseat Palacios, or is that far-fetched right now?
Pardon me?
Do you think Sifu, or could Palacios get bounced by Farfan, potentially get threatened for his job?
No, I loved what I saw from Palacios in the CCL, and it goes a long way in a sense of these guys played a different style in a way where you have to bring a different type of mentality, a different type of ball game against the Liga MX clubs because tactically they're 100% better than most MLS clubs. They position themselves well. They know how to cover areas. Then they know how to foul smart, we saw that a lot against us. They stopped us from counter attacks and whatnot. So yeah, it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Palacios was young player of the tournament in CCL.
Yeah,
it's kind of hard to unseat that right now.
I don't see him getting benched either at all.
I think with Farfan, it's more like obviously we need to create depth on the bench because there are many occasions when we don't have the starting lineup, including if players get COVID again. That's a real possibility. And then international duty, injury. And I think my main concern would probably be midfield because we saw what happens when we don't have a Tuesta, like some freak accident, or a freak refereeing situation where we're missing a Tuesta, then what? You know what I mean? We didn't really seem to have anything that was close to a suitable replacement for him. So that would be my huge missing element is where can we find a backup for position.
In that case, we're screwed because
exactly. So it's like, what if we always have to have an option for any of those scenarios. So, but everything else that I would reiterate what you said, Caesar, and I'm super excited about the right back kind of battle that's going to happen.
That battle's going to be fun.
Yeah. I mean, I'm like a big Tristan fan, and I've had many arguments with other LAFC fans who don't rate him very high because he's made some pretty bad mistakes in high profile games, but I think what I've seen over time is he's got drive, first of all, and he's really skillful on the ball, and he's fast, and he's not scared. So I love all those personality elements about him as a defender.
I'm wondering how he got the concussion at the camp with the U.S. men's national team because every time I seen him play he goes freaking hard in the air.
The wall, right?
He does. He'll go crash against the player and not care. So I'm wondering if that's what happened because he's like, I need to show coach that I'm willing to fight for my spot or whatnot. So, but yeah, it's just he's that type of player. So I wouldn't ask for more from him at this point, but obviously there's room for improvement in everyone and anyone. But I'm happy with Tristan.
Yeah, if we get CCL Tristan throughout the year, we're in a really good spot.
Totally. Yeah. And there's a new, hot young player coming from overseas who might be taking his position. So that is a great competition to have.
I'm happy. I mean, just the fact that we have a competition for places on the back line is just something that we've never really seen before.
I know, right? It's like all of a sudden, like we have this wealth of options in the back line.
And they're young. That's the other fun part. There's no old guys like that are in a starting position because we just don't have the depth. No, if it's an older player in the lineup, they're a backup option. They're not a starting option anymore. Mm-hmm. So that's a beautiful thing. So that's pretty much where we're at in terms of the conversation about veteran players, where we're at, where we're going. Punk, do you want to add anything else about veteran presence who you think's at risk, or do you think who's going to even have an even better year this year?
I think I kind of piggyback on what Christine was saying. Just for our defense, these other guys we got, I think it's going to be good to have them because of COVID, international. Mm-hmm. But it's going to be exciting to watch them. They're really going to be competing to get that starting 11 spot back there. We haven't had depth in defense ever. I mean, we all remember our first season. It was like after the 75th minute, it was just kind of like, okay, here we go. Even like this past season, it was like we'd score a goal, then right away give up the goal. So hopefully this can help prevent that. So,
right. Good things ahead. I love Jerry down here. He's making a play for Guido, guys. I can't blame him because I don't see him playing for us.
He does good in San Diego. He played great in San Diego.
Yeah. Yep. And then Robert also mentioned Blackman being grown, very underrated. It's very true. There was something I wanted to bring up from good old Brendan over here. Let me bring up that comment about a game that might be coming out for those of you that want to stay up really late tonight and watch some Australian football. Here we go. Former LAFC expansion draft players in the starting 11 for the Central Coast Mariners. Kickoff is just under an hour. Of course, y'all know who that is, right? Mr. Ureña.
Oh, yeah, Ureña, yeah.
Yeah, so Ureña is going to be starting tonight for the Central Coast Mariners. He's been playing pretty well from what I've seen. I believe Brendan said he's got himself an assist so far. No goals. How does that sound eerily familiar? Again, good off the ball. Open space up. Can set things up. Scoring, he's not going to light things on fire. But we all know he's a good player, and he fit his role when he was with us. So once black and gold, always black and gold. Shout out to Brendan Matthews for giving the heads up on that. I believe that's on ESPN Plus if you have it, so go check it out. It's kind of cool to see a game late at night. Brendan and I had an experience watching, what was that, third division football from Australia, because that's the only thing allowed to play during COVID. So we were watching games.
You would be watching third division football.
From Australia. Yeah, go Sharks. The other Sharks. In Australia. I found a team. He found me a team. And like you could see people eating hot dogs on the sideline. It was pretty funny to watch. So good times. So that's where we're at there. Now there was an article that came. Oh no, we're not gonna go to the article. We're gonna talk about Tony Leone. Christine, what did you find from Tony?
He has this really cool workout video that he did with Whistle Sports. And it's just this video of him working out and with his dad. So his dad is also his trainer. And they're in their garage. They're working out in the driveway. They're working out in the street. And they're like actually doing the workout that he does. So he's doing like, a lot of like resistance workouts, stuff with bands, like jumping, plyometric stuff, tons of ball work with cones, weights. And it was just really cool to see him like playing at his home, training at his home, doing ball work like on the actual street. And it's always cool to me because like he's from Long Beach, and I have a lot of friends who are in Long Beach, a lot of great players who are from Long Beach. And like very similar to LA, Long Beach, it's really hard to find grass fields, like available grass fields or any kind of turf fields where you can just go and practice and play. And so people really utilize what they can, which is like concrete, basketball courts, playing on the sand, playing on the beach. And they're able to translate that into like the professional pitch. So obviously, Tony Leone is like, he's had time now with both sides, Mexican and U.S. national teams, only 16 years old, playing against grown men. And has a very a developed mindset in terms of what his goals are and how he's going to get there. And his parents are like 100% the reason why he has that foundation. So I thought that was an awesome video. I got super pumped watching it. If you guys haven't checked it out, it's on his Instagram, but it's also on Whistle Sports and on YouTube. And I love watching players who are at this point in their development, because it's such an exciting time to see like what they can be and like all the raw material, and like so many players, like you really can go in many different directions. You can excel from there, or you can kind of level off, or you can drop off. So for me, it's like super, super dope to see teenagers and see them working, and some obviously work a lot harder. And I think his work ethic is amazing.
We're lucky.
Yeah.
We're lucky with the 3 kids that we have. Their mindset. That's the beautiful thing, is between the years, these guys, they're dialed in. There's no question. They have the right mindset to really take off with their careers with us. And I know the way our system works and those involved, that was a big play. You don't see the immaturity side. You see a lot of maturity from their age. They play as if they're a lot older than they are.
Yeah.
So check it out. Check out the video. It's something special to see, and you're just gonna, again, as an LAFC supporter, just feel that much happier about the situation with our youth players when you watch it. Caesar, did you get a chance to see it?
I did. It's a good video, just like she mentioned. And
is that how you train, Caesar?
I not exactly like that, to be honest with you, but it did take me back to memory lane for sure when my dad didn't train me that way, so I wish he did.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, just seeing like how involved his family is, that definitely goes a long way. That extra support, especially like if they know what they're doing, and they know what they're talking about, not just talking out of their, it does a lot. It says a lot. It does a lot for the kid, not just for the kid, but the brother. The brother is there watching him train, and then his brother would step in at times and train with him. So it's gonna be like a family tree, a family, soccer family pretty much, or an athlete family, because who knows if the kid is gonna follow through with soccer. Maybe it might be another sport, but at least as far as Tony, he's concentrated. He's in it to win. He's in it for the right reasons. And the way he expresses himself, the way he talks, like you guys just mentioned, he doesn't act like a 16 or 17-year-old kid. These kids are acting much older than what they are. Even their mentality, it's like, I want to do this. I want to succeed. And it's something that we've been missing in like the soccer culture in our country. And it's maybe has to do a lot with coming, and it does have to do a lot with coming from like different backgrounds, because soccer wasn't the number one sport in this country, and it's been the number one sport in many other countries. Where my family comes from, it's the number one sport. Where their families come from, it's the number one sport. And in many other countries, it's the number one sport. So the fact that we have kids that are making it their priority, it's only gonna elevate us at a different level very soon, like very, very soon. So I'm just happy to see the commitment from these kids, and I'm excited to chant their name at the stadium. I don't have a jersey yet, but it's probably like, I know everyone mentions buying like Vela, Moon now that he's coming in, but I'm gonna be like one of those guys that goes buys a Tony Leone jersey, Dueñas, and a Christian Torres. So that's the people who I want to support, just because they're from where I grew up, they're from my city, and now they're representing the club that I love, And to, like I just mentioned, to see that commitment from them, it means a lot to me, and it should mean a lot to every other fan.
I love it. It's the right mindset to have. LAFC faithful, follow Caesar's lead on this. He's right about that. You want the kids that become legends within your club. That's who you want to back. They're the ones that bleed. These three guys are going to bleed for this club more than anybody that we were to sign or to purchase.
Mhm.
These guys will bleed for the club. There's no question about it. They're one of us. Be real. They're fans and supporters just as much as we are. They just get to put on the boots now, and they earn their way there. So
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Beautiful. Always supporting the locals. You're right, Robert. Support the local boys all the way. On to the next conversation here. There was a bit of an odd article coming from Greg Seltzer talking about the best players in MLS, American players in MLS. Interesting list. Caesar, what was your early takes from this? What was the standout that you saw?
So we're talking about American players in MLS or at least going into the 2021 season. And I'll start off with the number one on his list, just so that you guys can be like, what is this guy talking about? And then number two, and then so I'll proceed that way. So he has on his list as number one, like American player in MLS, Walker Zimmerman. Yeah, the very same Walker Zimmerman that represented the black and gold, that Walker Zimmerman. And then at two, he has Gyasi Zardes. And we're talking about American players in MLS, okay? Then at number three, they got Chris Mueller, who has been sensational for Orlando since he came in. And to be ranked at three, it's decent, but I would have probably had him at top two. Darlington Nagbe, wow, number four. I would have had him in top three, 100%. And then one that caught my eye for sure, and it was number seven, Jeremy Ebobis from Portland Timbers. He's a nightmare. He's a nightmare for a lot of MLS teams. And I get that his stats might not show that, but this guy can burn anyone down the flank. He can finish when he wants. That's like the key term right there, when he wants, because he won't do it every game. But when he wants, that guy is on. So to be ranked seventh, it's kind of like a slap in the face for him. Another one, Christian Roldan at number 8. And then Marky Delgado, number 10 from Toronto FC. This guy should be in the top 5. So again, these guys who are analyzing MLS and players, it just makes me question how much they know the game of soccer, or how much do they really watch throughout the season. And yeah, I could elaborate more and more, but I'm very, very surprised, to say the least, that at the way they're ranked and who made the top 10.
Yeah, I look at this roster. Now, you tell me who you would rather see suiting up at LAFC, right? Ebobisse or Zardes?
That's an easy one.
Is it even a competition?
Yeah.
No way. I know who burns us every time we play him, right? We can't handle him. He's always been a thorn in our side. So, yeah. And Mueller, to me, this kid, there's so much upside with him still. We don't know. He hasn't peaked yet. There's no doubt. There's still more that he's got to bring into the game, and he is bringing into the game. I can't wait to see it. Roldan is highly underrated where he's ranked at. It's an odd list to me. It is. Did anybody on there not belong in the top 10? Probably not. It's just the allotment where they're at. Yeah. And somebody, Christine, you identified a snub, right? Who did you think was the snub?
Well, on Instagram, the official LA Galaxy account, they said something like snarky about like, oh, so we're just gonna forget about Sebastian Lletget, and then a bunch of other Carson fans were talking about Lletget being snubbed as well.
I mean, they're not wrong.
Play a full season.
Yeah.
He's always hurt, right? He's always got some knock. There's something wrong with him.
Yeah.
But healthy, he's a great player. I hate playing against him. I can tell you, whenever we play against that team, that's the guy that always steps up and hurts us.
Yeah, he's better without Zlatan on the team. I mean, I think Zlatan really kind of messed his head up. I mean, Zlatan pushed him out of the line that one time against us. And I mean, even after Zlatan left, I mean, Sebastian Lletget came out and said that Zlatan was pretty much a terrible teammate.
Yeah, they hated each other.
Yeah. I will never get over his Twitter account handle. That's just
the boy.
Whatever. But I've said this already. Once you have the Carson grossness, I don't want you on my team. That's where I'm at. It's a rival.
Mm-hmm.
But if there was ever one guy that could break that rule, it might be Sebastian. It might be him. But I still, again, 100%. No, I never want to see a player that played for Carson wear our colors ever, ever. I don't get that. I've seen Rangers and Celtic have guys go back and forth, and I don't understand that. There's been Dortmund and Bayern guys crossing sides. I don't get it. I don't want that tradition started here. They're there. We're here. Let's not have that.
Wait, you're telling me you wouldn't take Christian Pavón? I'm just kidding.
Nope.
Just kidding.
Nope. Not one of us. Not one of us. And I'm sure their fans would take anybody on our team. Let's be honest. They'd even take Latif, even though they're terrible to him. You know it. They don't have those kind of standards, right? Where the rivalry is fully. No, we do. At least I hope so. So there it is. Challenge to everyone. Don't buy any of their guys. Stay away. There's plenty of other players in the world. Screw Carson. There it is. Anybody else we'd want to add to the top 10 outside of that dude?
I would have added Brendan Aronson, but obviously he's gone.
I think he's a shoe-in, right?
Yeah, so I mean, I would have still thrown him in there just because. But yeah, no, he's not coming back this season. But other than that, I think it's just the way they allocated them and
the order.
Yeah, the order, and then Sebastian Lletget is someone that I was like, I get it, but at the same time, maybe even like on an injured day, he's probably better than one or two players on that list.
But so, did you say if you do agree about Zimmerman being number one?
I don't.
He has moments where he is the best center back probably in the league, but then he has other moments where he's playing like a USL player.
Mm-hmm.
There is consistency issues with him. There always has been, and I still believe that positional awareness with him is an option.
Mm-hmm.
Right. They mentioned his measured aggressiveness and aerial prowess, which, to be fair, I think has gotten better after he left our club. But yeah, I'm just getting flashbacks of his aerial work on our club. Yeah.
Well, because we're not. Yeah, we tend to not want to play that style of football, and even when other teams want to play that against us, we find a way to destroy that some way or somehow. It's happened. I'm not going to say it hasn't happened, but he wasn't. Well, when he was exposed with us, he was just bad at it. So obviously, going into a new system in Nashville, especially the system that they're playing, which is very defensive. You have to, you have no option but to get better at it, or else guess what? Next.
And he stood out. He has done it.
And
I do like his aerial presence on offense, and maybe that's why the guy brought that up. On corner kicks, he's pretty deadly. He's a real threat out there. So I get that.
Yeah.
Ike Opara. Yes, he was hurt, but he was Defender of the Year last year. Do you think if he was healthy, he'd be on this list?
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
Right. And who would you rather purchase right now? Zim or Ike healthy?
For our system, Ike. Yeah.
Ike.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see where that goes. Here's a hard question that I got from Brendan here, so I'm going to throw it up there because I'll go for it. Would you take one of Carson's academy kids? Well, I will tell you this. Guess what? Academy kids have crossed back and forth already. They're kids. They're developing. Some systems don't fit well with certain players, and they don't. And to me, once you're a senior player, you're locked. I'm okay with academy kids. They're kids. They're learning the game. That's an opening. You can grow out of the galaxy. That's certain. Just like you could possibly grow out from us, but why would you ever want to? So no, I to me, academy kids are off, like they're off limits, right? They do what they need to do to develop, and when they become a pro, that's when they make their decisions. It's just like with national teams, where you see our players jumping back and forth. Whatever they choose, I'm gonna support. Would I prefer it for the United States? Yes, but they got to do what's best for them. And I say the same with the academy kids. Do what's best for you where you fit best. So it's open season until they sign a pro contract.
Very true.
Agreed.
Yeah. I hope that answered Brandon's question, but yes, there we are. All right. So that is pretty much what we saw when it came to the article. There was an interesting article brought up by Christine. I'm just going to hand this one over to you about data science in MLS.
Yeah, so this is kind of related to this player ranking because in that top 10, there wasn't really an explanation of how Greg came up with his top 10, except through observation, and his subjective opinions. And I heard this really great episode of MLS Assist with a data scientist who works for the New York Red Bulls. His name is Sam Goldberg, and he actually has a background in like data with in terms of baseball, and then he sort of developed that and shifted over to football. But him and his partner built this kind of like metric called Davies, which stands for Determining Added Value of Individual Effectiveness, Including Style. And there's a really long, fleshed out article where you can read about how they evaluated different metrics, specifically for MLS players, and how they identify which metrics are most relevant, and then took that and then coupled that with players' age and style. So they did different categories in terms of what constitutes style, and it's very much positionally based. That's so awesome. That you have a model that combines metrics with more of a context in terms of how old a player is and what position they play. So that when you are comparing players, it's more effective and more efficient. And ideally, this model or a similar model could be used in recruiting so that you can really eliminate like a lot of the bias that you get. We can't avoid bias. We all have bias in terms of who our favorite players are, who we rate. And I think that, Sam Goldberg is clear in terms of this is not a replacement for technical staff. It's not a replacement for coaching staff in terms of their expertise and the eye test and all of those intangible things like a player's personality and how they fit culturally into a club. But what it can do is it can remove a lot of biases so that we can really recruit young players based off of how effective that they can be. And I think it's like in line with what a lot of other sports already have in terms of data, like, WAR in baseball, and then like player efficiency rating in basketball. And just, Jason, you probably know a lot about that. But yeah, so the idea is like, ideally, right now, not every MLS team is using this kind of data extensively. And certainly not every MLS club has like a data scientist on their staff.
Do you happen to know who's using that?
Yeah, so he works for the New York Red Bulls.
Okay.
Yeah, so, and then I believe he was formerly employed with DC United.
Nice.
Yeah.
All I know is that any like pro team that has incorporated this system into their organization has won a championship.
Exactly.
So if LAFC is hearing this, you know what to do.
Yeah, so Seattle, Columbus Crew, all the top clubs that are consistently in the playoffs in ranking in the top the 3 positions in their conference are utilizing data. So it'd be interesting to see if that's going to be something that MLS clubs adopt.
Yeah, like Caesar was saying, like baseball, you look at the Dodgers. I mean, their Dodgers are hardcore into that, man. I mean, I think it drove some of us fans crazy, like throughout the season.
But it pays off.
But then we won the World Series, so it's like, hey. But yeah, I see a lot in baseball. It's the last few years it's been coming up in the NHL as well.
I mean, hockey's got Corsi, right?
Yeah,
that's what everybody's looking at right now. But baseball has been like the big change, and hockey too. I really do think that sport is really taken to it. That's why you've seen a kind of change in the look of players on teams. Size is a little different, speed's a little different. Hockey has a different look now because of this, and it's proven to win. And I look at Red Bull youth level players they bring up. It's working, right? You see it, at least on the younger players. They haven't seen the payoff yet, but you can only imagine it's going to be a matter of time the way things work with them.
Yeah.
So, LAFC, is there any doubt that we love the tech and we love all the data? I mean, look at what we did with video analysis already. We were pretty dynamic when it came to that. We still are. Do you see us not going this path? Do you think we'll avoid it?
No, I think this is something that definitely we would. We got some stuff going on in the comments that I think this is something that definitely the club would embrace because they're realistic, and then they also want to incorporate data that takes into account context for players. So, yeah.
I'm on board. I love stats. I love numbers, and I just can't wait to delve into this one a little bit more. Thank you, Christine, for bringing this, because now I have a homework. This is fun.
Exactly.
I'm a dork when it comes to sports stats. I just am. I love the breakdowns. So I'm in on this. I don't think anybody could doubt it. So everybody do take a look at the website. If we want to feature that, we can definitely do that on our social media so you can get a closer look at that one. And so, yeah. Take a look, guys. It's worth it, 100%. Listener reaction. So here's the fun part, guys. You obviously see that we have this new toy. It is a toy, right? Shiny new things. So we want to know from you guys. This is your chance. Throw stuff at us. Let's see this. What sticks, what doesn't. We'll react to some fun things. And no, Brendan, we're not talking about the Dodgers because I don't even Dodgers, okay, it's cool. I'm not going to jump on that.
I know. That's obviously a trigger issue for lots of people.
Right? Some people getting all aggressive. You got borderline scene filter going on over here. It's all right. It's all right.
I'm like trying to delete it because I thought it was on my page.
I saw you like furiously try to be like, oh no.
I almost posted my picture with my daughter on the Heart of LASC today. So you know, that does happen here too.
It happens, yeah. So that was me, Bam. That was me.
Yeah, obviously, clearly.
Joe would have tell him that. Yeah, that's not happening. Yeah, I'm going borderline Flanders these days, so it's not
Flanders.
Right? It's too censored. Jeez. Yeah, there we are. Come on, guys. Who's got some comments? Throw some out. Reactions. How do you like this format? Is it something that fits? Let's hear from you guys. It's time for the Galaxy, the gallery. I almost called you guys the Galaxy. How ugly is that? The gallery. What you got? Throw it at us.
All right, we'll post the first one that pops up right now. We'll see.
This is the feedback. All you guys. There it is.
I want to say something about Australian wildlife. Yeah. I also have heard. I saw that comment about the spiders.
Spiders, yeah.
I know. I'm definitely scared of spiders, and I've had Australian friends, send me pictures, and I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I can make the trip.
I wasn't lucky. I would say lucky. I wasn't lucky enough to see any spiders, but
yeah,
I did.
They're like this big, like bigger than your face.
Yeah, that's
it's
crazy.
Like that movie Alien. They will jump on your face and then just leash onto you. At least that's what I think happens. I don't know.
So, Christine, have you ever heard of a drop bear?
A what?
No. Drop bear.
No.
Go look it up and turn the volume up when you look it up, okay? No. Turn the volume up, but go check it out. Drop bear. Oh, Brendan's sitting here laughing at his table right now, eating dinner. Like, did you really have to go there? Yeah, I went there, dude.
He's like, weak Americans. I'm like, yes, I am very weak American. I can't handle certain wildlife and climates.
I mean, I think their domestic animals could kill you there. It's just something about Australia.
Hey, I agree. The interactive experience, it's kind of cool to see everybody and kind of see the quotes. So Roberto, yeah, I'm enjoying it too. So we're enjoying it as much as you are. So
yeah,
sure.
I agree. Like, we finally get to hear from you guys, and it's been pretty consistent on who's been on tonight. So we are beyond happy that all of you have stuck with us late into the evening. As Junior JR kind of mentioned, it's kind of the hour of sin. He makes fun of me when I do these late night hours, but yeah, we're here.
WandaVision, interesting.
Jerry.
Okay, so what's WandaVision?
Ooh, Disney Plus stuff here, guys. It's Marvel. I don't really watch it because I
Me
haven't
either.
watched enough of the Marvel
Yeah.
movies. To be honest, I felt lost after the first two episodes. I was like, yeah, this ain't my jam. But it is a lot of people's like crazy awesome jam because they've followed the whole thing through. And if you did, it makes sense. For me, I'm like, okay, Vision's dead, now he's back. Oh, fine. But I get it. It's a long running series, so it's or at least the movies. If you've done the whole list of 20 movies, I get it.
So that's I guess from you talking about spiders right there and seeing
What
like
I actually want to see, Brendan, is okay. I've seen this video where this parachuter lands and then he sees a kangaroo coming at him. I'm sure you've seen this, Brendan. He sees the kangaroo coming at him from a distance and he's like, "Hey, buddy." And then the kangaroo just comes up and just punches him, like knocks him in the face. And he's like, "Ow, get away." And then the kangaroo leaves. But yeah, I would like to witness something like that. Some kind of, I'm into that kind of violence. Yeah.
Animal and human violence. There it is. Well,
Exactly.
you were going to the right country for that madness. I did see Black and Gold Running Club said that they're used to listening to the show while running, so this is a change.
well, you still can.
You still can. So once this show ends and we hit end broadcast, it will be posted on our website, iTunes, everywhere else, just like our normal podcast always has been. We just get to have a cool little live element that plays on both YouTube and Facebook Live. I haven't really tested out the Facebook Live, but I guess it's there.
Yeah.
I haven't got a lot of comments from that tonight as well, so I guess we need to push that a bit more with the LAFC fans page. That's going to definitely happen. But rest assured, if you want to listen to this in your car and all that, it's still going to be here. So those who are listening to it right now or in a few hours when they get the recording, yes, you're listening to a live pod, but we're going to cover everything as well. And we're going a little longer tonight because we can, and it's freaking cool. So there it is. Bernier almost killed a kangaroo the other day. Is that what I just heard?
Yeah. That's scary.
So not
It's
only
kinda
the
like-
animals are deadly, but Brendan is too.
Yeah, no, I would agree with Roberto. So if we could probably push YouTube a little more than Facebook. Facebook is a little outdated in my opinion, but we will still be sharing on Facebook just because there's still people who utilize it. We just didn't push it hard enough on Facebook, but we definitely will.
We
I
will.
think all the moms are on Facebook. So
Well, I mean, maybe my mom wants to watch, you know? It's cool. Totally cool. And I know there's others that actually do prefer Facebook Live. I don't think I've ever watched one on Facebook Live ever. But I've definitely watched plenty on YouTube, so there it is. Yeah. Bam behind the wheel is no bueno. Agreed. Ooh, we're up. Roberto's bringing up LAFC After Hours. I'm going to say this is kind of LAFC After Hours right now. We're going to have to break off. We're just going to throw stuff out there. The goal, I think, early stages tonight, I think was 90 minutes. We're getting close to that right now. Usually, though, I'm thinking more hour 10, hour 15, and we'll go from there. That's going to be the goal. But since it's our first night of doing this, and I've got a lot of you guys here, which we love. Master Splinter has something to say. Here it is. Jerry says, switch to Periscope. You might get more interaction there than Facebook.
No.
Well, then, I believe we can open it up to 3 platforms live. Right, Jerry? You're probably going to agree with me right now. So that might be an option. Periscope might be something that we're going to do. Ooh, and we have a Twitch conversation.
Yeah, I was going to say
Twitch.
Twitch. I was going to say Twitch is where it's at.
We can do any of those. You guys tell us, what do you think the third stream should be? And
Yeah,
we'll
I
add
say
it
I
on
go
there.
Twitch.
I say
mean,
Twitch. Twitch would be.
Ooh.
I mean, you look at the
maybe-
Cooligans. The Cooligans are on Twitch. So.
Yeah, I would say at that point, then if you're gonna get more viewers on Periscope, get rid of Facebook and keep Periscope and add Twitch, right? No,
Ooh.
Mhm.
We get 3. So there it is. We'll have the supporters decide. The supporters of Heart of LAFC, give us a note, send us some messages, add some comments onto this one. Even after it's done recording, it will still be there for all of you. Give us comments. Where would you like to see this show broadcast? YouTube, of course, is a guarantee, but what else is going to happen? 35. Try being in your 40s and go, what's a Twitch? I have a Twitch. I think I got it for the charity FIFA matches, and that was why I got
I
one.
did the same. Now I'm in my 40s, so that's why I got it, and also you'll watch the Cooligans on there too. So
Yep.
I think you meant, Joseph, that you have like a Twitch, like a bodily Twitch.
It's gonna give me a Twitch watching that thing. Sheesh. Yeah. You guys
yeah,
are-
Jerry. I like Jerry
Yeah.
says Twitch is what happens to me when I hear Carson. So.
Twitch.
Ooh.
Is there an app called Convulse? Because that could be me for Carson. No. Oh gosh. What is this? Jerry can immortalize you with he does love emotes. Is that what you call it? I don't know. Showing my
Emojis?
age. It's not an emoji. It's like this cartoon-looking character that Jerry likes to create for people and himself.
Oh, okay. What are they
Right?
called?
It's like funny reactions, and it's you, but it's not you.
Yeah.
And I've never
Oh my
gone
God.
through with that. I think it would be horrifying to see myself a version of that. So I just haven't gone that way.
So Brandon just shared, if you guys are trying to watch the A-League match with Marcos Ureña, he tagged the Heart of LAC Twitter, and so Joseph just retweet it and people can watch it.
So I would say if you guys ever watch Scottish football and say like the 90s and early 2000s, that's A-League. Like nice physical football. Systems are still good, but I will say it's more on the physical side, and I love physical football, so I'm good with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's fun to watch. It really is. They're very competitive. It's weird. I think there's crowds, right, Brennan? They're back.
Mm-hmm.
So you actually get that environment as well. So check it out. Brennan's right. It's fun to watch. Like I said, it fit for me at the time when I had to decide. Well, I was watching both. It was K-League and that. K-League and A-League. That's what I was watching. And funny mannequins in the crowd were a little bit weird with K-League. With A-League, there were still some people around, so that was okay. And you're like, what are they talking about? Look it up. K-League had a funny scandal happen.
That was I heard about that on Cooligans, and
It was awesome.
Yeah. And how they described it, if you listen to Cooligans, it was quite hilarious the way those two guys talked about it.
Yeah, Alexis is the man. I'm just saying, and we have some history with the man. So multiple happy incidents. I'll just say that. So shout out to the Cooligans. Still a great show. Check it out. On our end, anybody else have anything to add from the YouTube family of LAFC supporters? What have we got? Special Heart of LAFC lovers and watchers and viewers. What do you got? What do you got to add?
I would like to know where Jerry took that picture in his thumbnail. It's very professional looking.
All right, yeah.
It looks
I'm
like
bet
the
his
band,
wife took that picture.
Yeah, like his cover for his album.
There you go. So you guys can see it on the stream.
Yes. Is that like for your like new reggaeton album, Jerry? I mean that as a compliment. Oh my god.
Dang. Now his brother would definitely be supplying the beats for that. I'm just, yeah.
It's
Andy's
just
the man.
it's missing the parental advisory thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
God, that's everywhere right now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Boy, parental advisory. You need that on Sim Filtro, dude. You have to do a cover like that. It's a rule.
We probably do, actually. That's actually a brilliant idea.
It was like that little Heart of LAC live we got at the bottom here.
Yep.
Parental advisory would be brilliant. Yeah. All good things. So anybody else want to add anything before we go into our final comments and close this lovely show out? What a great show tonight. We'll give you guys 10 seconds. 9, 8,
8,
7,
7,
6,
6.
5, 4, 3,
Ah!
2, 1. The polls are now closed. And Brendan throws in the BA photo shoot at the last second. Well, if Guest sponsors us again, we might do that. Hey, there's a love from Jerry. There it is. For sure, guys. So guess what? It's the final thought. Now, here's why I'm going to do this. And they're like, man, it's like we're in school. Yeah, I know. I'm a teacher. I can't help this. Last one on, first one out. So, Jason, the LAFC Punk Ariano, you have the floor, sir. Final comment of the day.
All right, final comment. Just to everybody, again, stay positive. I've had a crazy last 2 weeks. I'll just say that. I was at, like I said, urgent care last week. Joseph texted me last week as I was leaving the hospital. He said, "Hey, can you record tonight?" And I said, "I just left urgent care." So I've been kind of focusing on that. Just give me your thoughts and prayers. Kind of a little concerned about what's going on with me, but thank you guys. You guys have no idea what the LAFC family means to me. It means the world to me. You guys, this podcast, all you listeners, all sport groups that I'm part of and that I know of, you guys have been so great to me. So thank you for that. It's been a crazy year for me. So it's getting crazier. So thank you guys again. Have a good one.
Love you, man. Happy to have you back on with us, dude. It's been rough hearing about this health situation. Again, love to see they're getting better, man. Next one's Christine Kwan.
First of all, I apologize to you guys for this hideous backdrop. I mean, I haven't figured out where in my house to set up, but I hope that next week it's not just my couch, my great couch. But you know, going off what Jason says, first of all, Jason, so happy that you're feeling better. I myself am getting to that point in like COVID, like timeline where I feel like Homer Simpson when he hasn't had like TV and beer for like so many days, and he's like gonna go cuckoo. He's like, no, you guys haven't seen that episode. Okay, anyways, you know, my birthday just happened, and I really feel like I am getting wiser, and I feel like one thing that we should all be aware of is just like how we're doing mentally and emotionally and physically. And, you know, our mental health is just like our physical health. We have to work it on a daily basis. So I know it's really hard for everybody for different reasons. And I think that, you know, if you don't hesitate to, you know, reach out to your friends, your family, to therapists, whatever you need to do, because, you know, being healthy mentally is just like putting in the work. That's how I think of it. It's putting in the work, just like as an athlete, you put in the work to stay physically fit, and you need to do that for your mental health as well. So I am very grateful to have celebrated this birthday with you guys. I'm totally looking forward to this live stream. I feel like this is the social interaction that I need to you know, just stay grounded. And I love the comments, love meeting all of you guys virtually in the comment section. So thank you. And yeah, see you guys next week.
Thank you, Christine. We're all here for you, no doubt. And again, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for all the comments right now. I'm seeing them touching me right now. So thank you guys.
Love our family. Love our Black and Gold family, no doubt.
Yep.
Caesar, my good friend, it is your turn.
All I have to say is, Jason, I'm glad you're back on the show for tonight, and I hope that you feel better, you keep getting healthy, and my girlfriend and I will keep praying for you. We'll check up on you soon. Other than that, love you all who made it to the show tonight. We'll see you guys next time, and I think the next episode, we're hoping that MLS releases the schedule and we get to talk a little bit about that and what's to come for the season. Other than that, just like Christine mentioned, stay healthy, stay safe, take care of yourselves in every way possible, mentally, physically, take care of your house, take care of your everything, just literally everything. We know that everything plays an impact in your mental health and your physical health. And yeah, I keep going on about this, but just make sure that you guys are taking care of yourselves.
Thank you, brother. No doubt about it. That is ultimately where we're at on this. Is as much as we love the football and it's our great escape, at the end of the day, it's each other. It's our community that makes us what we are. And whenever one of us is down, whenever one of us is having struggles, it's on us to help them out. It's on us to step up, to identify, to talk. Just be that outlet. I'm beyond happy to have this outlet back again, because I think the separation we've all been dealing with this past year, this, again, like Christine says, this is a great outlet for that. We get to talk to everybody again, fire off some jokes, be who we are, do what we love to do, and talk about our team. It's kind of the closest thing we're going to get to a tailgate for now, or just walking to the games and hanging out. So look for this every week. We're going to do this every week. That is the plan. Every Thursday night, 10:30. Maybe we'll push it up to 10 sometimes for everybody, get a little easier on everybody. But this is where we're going to be. We want to be that consistent source for you guys for information, and to hear your opinions. This is everyone's pedestal. That's why we're here. And a few of you might actually get on camera as well. If you're up for it, let us know. Mm-hmm. We can actually bring people in and out during the broadcast. We didn't try it out tonight, but it's there. We can add some of you in during conversations. If you want to jump on for a few seconds, we can do that. So don't be afraid. Do it. Would love to do that. Roberto, I see you down there, and Mr. First every time. I'd love to get on for a few minutes. So yes, I'll just kind of end on that is we're thankful for all of you, and we're thankful for your support, for all the love, for everything that makes you guys LAFC in the black and gold. When we say stay golden, we mean it. And the voices, the names I see popping out right now, you guys live it. You really do stay golden every chance you get, and show us in our best light. So on that note, thank you everyone for being who you are, being genuine. And yes, stay golden.
Thank you for listening to the Heart of LAFC. Make sure to leave us a rating and review on iTunes or Stitcher. Shoulder to shoulder, the black and gold is taking over.